When I met my now husband like 15 years ago, so he told me there is one movie that has changed the way that I look at cinema, and he's like, it just stayed with me all these years. So it was Hazaro. He watched it at Regal Cinema in Bombay, and then he loved it so much he went back the next day and he watched it again at Regal Cinema. So while we were quoting or whatever, he was like, you have to watch this film. And I feel like a lot of it was hinging on like how I reacted to it, and thankfully I also love the film, so I was very excited.
And then you lived happily ever after.
And then you lived happily ever after.
You're the second couple that's told me that their marriage was hinging on a film that I've made.
In such environment, you live in Bombay, you have existed in the film industry for a long time, right from one of my favorite films, which I wonder if they could make it today, Jaane Bhi Do Yaro. What do you make of this environment? How real is it? How much do people like us like to play it up? Because you also made a film, which I had attended the premiere of in Delhi. Afwah, which passed muster. It was fantastic. It passed CBFC.
Yep.
And it was very clearly a comment on this whole Gauraksha Dal types. How does that make it through but others don't make it through? How does it work?
We are living in crazy times. And in these crazy times, which also include the marketplace. So the marketplace is a very big censor. You can't make this or you can't make that. Right? You can't. At one point they say you can't make films with women in the lead. Right, so that was a kind of censor. Comedies don't work, but Jaane Bhi Do Yaro worked.
I get to saying that if you ask a question sensibly, it should get released. I'm not so sure about that. But why do you have to be sensible about it? I don't think many of the films today are at all sensible. I don't think I didn't bother watching it, but I watched some bits of this files or that files, or they were not sensible.
I think if I say as a filmmaker that I cannot make the films that I want to, then I'm scaring off a lot of young filmmakers. So a lot of young filmmakers will think that यार ये तो इतने साल से यहाँ पे है,
अगर यही नहीं
इसको भी जानता है, उसको भी जानता है, ये तो इधर खड़ा है, इसका बैकग्राउंड ये, उसका बैकग्राउंड वो, इसका रिश्तेदार ये, उसका रिश्तेदार वो, ये नहीं बना सकता फिर, then what about me? Right? So then it starts putting some sort of a shutdown of their minds,
Wouldn't you say though that there is the case that there is this infrastructure of support that surrounds a particular kind of movie nowadays, that if it aligns with a certain ideology, it'll get a tax exemption, you'll get ministers sort of talking about it, a prime minister might even tell you have to go and watch it, it's relentlessly promoted. So, but in contrast, a film that perhaps shows, I wouldn't even say dissent, but which sort of challenges an idea, even in its title, it gets pulled up by a court and it's told to change its title, it gets censor board cuts. So, but do you feel like this is a very new phenomenon, or has this always been the case in various sort of ways in India as a filmmaker?
Right.
I'm telling you, Homebound, whatever it is worth, Homebound was released. Right? The social media, why doesn't everybody explode in the social media, go tell their friends, go see it, it's supposed to be, And why don't people crowd the theatres? Why don't you have a parallel, almost a movement to go and support these films? Because when the audience will, that's the only way you become a Lok Sabha member, right? Right, because otherwise you're a Raj Sabha member, you're dependent on patronage. Somebody supports you, somebody doesn't.
The opposition has submitted a notice to move a no-confidence motion against Lok Sabha Speaker Om Birla. They said he conducts House proceedings in a blatantly partisan manner. Birla has now said he won't attend the House until a discussion and decision is taken.
When it comes to parliamentary debates, definitely it's gone downhill. What do you make of it? What is the reason? Is the incentive structure changed? You have covered parliament. You had, covered a lot of these things. Is it no pushback from media? Are we living in the age of dumb with Donald Trump leading the world? What is it? Why has Parliament become a joke? It's a circus.
The debate's not taking place and, so on. This is not the first time and it won't be the last time. After all, no less than Arun Jaitley said that disruptions, once said when he was in the opposition, that disruptions are a form of democracy. They're not undemocratic. So I think that, that is there. But yes, as far as the quality of debate goes, now, that's another story altogether. And I think that's because, I would say it's largely because the criteria today for choosing candidates.
Welcome to Chhota Hafta. Now, Chhota Hafta is but a small, chhota version of a complete weekly podcast, Newslaundry Hafta. The Newslaundry Hafta is where you get the week's news, what made the headlines, what didn't make the headlines, but the full version is available to subscribers only. And I don't mean YouTube subscribers, although YouTube subscribers are also very welcome, very, very grateful to you, but also to Newslaundry subscribers, the paying subscribers who pay to keep news free. So you can also become a paying subscriber by clicking the subscription link. Now what do you get if you're a paying subscriber? You get access to all our paywall content, all interviews, podcasts, and importantly, you get access to a full unedited Hafta, where you not only get to hear the week's news, but you get to hear the Newslaundry editors' positions on matters. You get to see their biases, what are their prejudices. It's an exercise in transparency while also informing you, and we have a few quips and jokes and agreements and disagreements thrown in. So listen to the full Hafta, subscribe to Newslaundry, and pay to keep news free. Here we go. अंग्रेज अपना लगान और Newslaundry अपना हफ्ता कभी नहीं छोड़ते. Welcome to another episode of Hafta. This is the week and the month. In fact, it is the week after, but the month when we turn 14, and I'm not talking about Abhinandan, I'm talking about Newslaundry. I'm merely turning 10. But Newslaundry's 14th birthday month has an offer which also coincides, since this is Valentine's week. Anyone who's been listening to FM would know, because they're fucking making sure you don't forget.
Less F-bombs, yeah? We have a letter from somebody who says that my children listen.
Okay, so I apologize. They don't allow you to forget that it's Valentine's week, which all these FM channels. So it is the intersection of our birthday month and Valentine's week. So we have a special offer. But first, let me tell you about NL turns 14. 14 years of independent media. Newslaundry was built by who? You.
I'm Jayashree. I believe in the power of conversations. I built Newslaundry.
I'm Atif Adam. I'm a health researcher and a proud father, and I built Newslaundry.
I'm Sushi. I love traveling to new places and trying out new things. I built Newslaundry.
I am Nishchay Dave. I am an Indian citizen and a marketeer, and I built Newslaundry.
I'm Gagan. I like fit people and a happy world, and I built Newslaundry.
I helped build Newslaundry.
I helped build Newslaundry.
I built Newslaundry.
I built Newslaundry.
I built Newslaundry.
I built Newslaundry.
As you can see, that was only subscribers. If you're also a subscriber and you want to send us your video, we would like to play one of these every hafta and also put them on our social media to tell the world who built Newslaundry, because often, undeservedly, the credit goes entirely to the Newslaundry team. But we'd like to remind everybody, we just jumped off a cliff hoping someone would catch us, and the people who caught us are the ones who deserve the credit for 14 years of independent, unafraid coverage. Now, this is, the QR code is here throughout when I've been saying this. There's a link in the show notes. But someone here has also written this copy, and I would like to know who. I'd like to ask the producer, Amit. I will read it because that's my job. And I'll try not to throw up. 'Tis that time of the year again. Love is everywhere. It's in stolen glances and holding hands. It's in sweet nothings and big fights. I'm really trying not to drop F-bombs. But it also lies in keeping each other informed. It lies in investing to build a better democracy. It lies in our journalism. Roses may wilt, chocolates may melt, teddy bears may lose their fur. But true journalism stands the test of time like true love. It's so Valentine's Day. Give your loved one something that lasts. Gift a Newslaundry News Minute joint subscription. Buy one half-year or annual subscription and get a second subscription absolutely free. QR code, link. Now, who wrote that copy about chocolates?
I have a guess. Is it Shwet?
It came from social media, but I think it's quite compelling. Come on.
It is very
losing
sweet.
their fur.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's very cute. Teddy bears may lose their fur.
So, before we move on to the...
True journalism.
See, we're not appealing to the cynics. We're
Yeah, we're not
to the
appealing to
romantic.
51-year-old single men Uncles.
Teddy bears may lose their fur is such a
low quality for Chinese make you watch. A good teddy bear never lose its fear.
Very sweet.
So anyway, so to all the people who have a better half, I hope you have a great Valentine's week. Those like me, you can look at this and roll your eyes.
You can go to the park with a danda and join Bajrang
Yeah,
Dal.
we'll go to the park with a danda. First we'll do the RSS thing and then we'll join the Bajrang Dal. And but both types will buy a Valentine's for someone special, which is a joint subscription, because like our social media team has very sweet, and we have a young social media team, I take that back. I think it's very sweet. My personal tastes, which are rather dodgy, should not mar this beautiful week of love. So do take this opportunity and gift someone on the 14th year of Newslaundry. So we can all next year say, we built Newslaundry together with love. You see the beauty of love.
So you're going to punch the wall now.
No. So why did you come up with that theme? Like, was it like some experience? Like the characters are so compelling, whether the one played by Shiny or the one played by KK Menon. And both were, and how they, go from, your feelings towards them changes throughout without you hating them completely, which is a tough one to pull off. These characters, they were with you in college. Are you any one of them? Were you the kind who'd hang around talking about revolution? Were these friends of yours? And did you at any point have a problem releasing this? Because it was so easily identifiable who those people were.
But there were some problems releasing it.
Okay.
But, for example, they said remove All India Congress Committee from one shot. I changed that to a longer shot. It was pretty obvious, but they said okay. So, it went through a revising committee. Didn't. That was ultimately released and did well a bit. So, I don't know. I say that in the beginning of the film, right? Hazano is a film. Maybe a filmmaker should make only the films that he can make. The rest are stopgap arrangements, maybe to make money, maybe to enter a film that, So I come from that kind of background. My maternal uncle is D.P. Mishra. He had nothing to do with. Luckily, he didn't step into my life economically, so I had no money, right? But I'm a mathematician son. My father is a Nehruvian, mathematician, scientist, right? That time, a character like Shiny was emerging. Naxalism was waning. I say this is about my, siblings, imaginary siblings, my elder brothers and sisters.
Where did you go to college?
I went in Sagar, then in DU.
So you were in DU?
Yeah, I was in DU. I was in DU in the arts faculty. MPhil, yeah. I was in DU.
So you had the DU experience?
I had the DU experience. And a lot of people say that this is based on that person and Siddharth is based on this person or that person. I don't know. I've never, the life of a radical in any period is the same.
Yeah, if you've lived in Delhi long enough, you know Siddharth, you know Shiny.
Shiny.
You know those guys.
I've lived in Delhi from before. Because all my uncle, every self-respecting North Indian's family is in Delhi.
The marketplace being a censor and determining, and it's always been so for people in mainstream Hindi movies. So and if you look at the marketplace dictating movie taste today, it's a movie like Dhurandhar or Chhawa that is giving Bollywood the cue that this is what will work, so make this. But what do you think as a filmmaker is working for these movies? Why do you think they're getting these box office collections? They're popular. Is it the spectacle of it, or is it genuinely tapping into a mood?
It's a spectacle. There's a new kind of villain, which seems to be in the environment and it's very craftily done, so that you almost like the villain. And he's attractive, complicated, has a family, loves his son. But is this? And then you craft it with this guy who's staying in the background, almost a man who's entered that area, and then slowly this man has entered into another world. It's very craftily done. And there's music and it's entertaining. And I would disagree with it politically, totally. But I would disagree. When we were watching films when we were young, there's a lot of popular cinema which was very sexist, which was, the way, say, a woman was shot was obnoxious. The way she was portrayed or the value system that was portrayed was obnoxious, and they went on to become hits.
Yeah.
So popular sentiment is also popular sentiment.
On OTT platforms, I mean, if there are 10 movies, 5 out of 10 or 6 out of 10 are based on nationalism and patriotism.
War.
The undercurrent of even the popular movies which have made money is basically propaganda. So is it a coincidence or is it a design?
What would you say a film like Hakikat did?
But it was
always
just one of
when you
its-
made patriotic films, war films, whether Border 1 was made so many years ago, always it's kind of patriotism, extreme.
And it's always been a theme, I think, in the world over, even in the US. I think.
If you see Top Gun, then the last one is bombing God knows who.
They didn't name a country because now they have to make sure geopolitics doesn't get influenced. The first one, it was clearly Russia.
The Russian villain.
This one, even Rocky, it was a Russian villain. Cobra, everything was
but
communist.
if you see Rocky 2, they're working with the Mujahideen.
Rambo.
Sorry, Rambo.
2, yeah.
Sorry, yeah. So always popular culture has been used or is always in consonance with some existing ideology that is winning.
What do you think the speaker has, done to deserve this? The conduct, do you think it's in general been an outlier as far as speakers are concerned over the last couple of decades that we've been observing Parliament?
The most recent thing is he shut off Rahul Gandhi's mic when Rahul Gandhi was trying to authenticate, the documents from which he was quoting, the excerpts of the former army chief's book. So he just shut off his mic and, Rahul Gandhi wasn't allowed to speak. I think that alone is reason enough to question his impartiality. So, yes, I think, as I said, today's politics, and this is particularly true since 2014, it has got so polarized. Listen, when Vajpayee was heading a BJP-led coalition government, Vajpayee's whole approach was consensual. He would meet all MPs, at the time when the US was pressurizing us to send troops to Iraq to participate in the war over there, he actually called in the left MPs and told them, "Zara apna आवाज ऊंचा उठाइए ताकि Washington में पहुंच जाए कि हम नहीं भेजें." He sought the help of the opposition MPs.
Manisha, is it also, I guess, to do with technology? Because this is a phenomenon we're seeing. I don't know whether you saw Pam Bondi's...
Pam Bondi's
that's a
deposition.
congressional... Yeah. Just the way they speak.
This is exactly like what our parliamentarians are saying. Like, we should be talking about Donald Trump and how good we're doing. And the same thing that our minister said, we should be talking about the deal with, taking India, whatever, a $3 trillion
the way they talk
to
each other, it's like,
It's very
teenagers
similar.
fighting with each other. The Pam Bondi thing. Is it... technology has just made this...
I'm wondering, what exactly... So one is this 27... I think there's an understanding among parliamentarians that we are performing either for the benefit of a viral reel or for our media, which will anyway cheerlead us.
Right.
So I'll say something about Nehru and all the prime times will be, look, kya dhurandhar jawab diya hai or Nehru ko sikha diya hai. Or then they'll talk about Babar being a bisexual. So I think there's a confidence in the governing party that whatever we say is going to be played up really well on the 24/7 primetime channels. And for other parliamentarians, I think they're, the debates are framed to cater to a viral reel sort of a format rather than think your arguments through. What are you really going? What is your strategy also in terms of attacking the opposition? But I think overall, if you have to look at the culture of parliament, it has to be the governing party that has to have more responsibility on what has happened to just debates, attendance, being present, making announcements that, this is what we're doing and we're going to be discussing this. This is our plan with the Indo-US. It is up to the government to say that let's discuss this and actually then hold a discussion on it. So I think if it's...
Bas, muft mein itna ich milega. For the full uncut podcast, subscribe to Newslaundry and pay to keep news free. The best way to listen to The Hafta and indeed all our podcasts is through the Newslaundry app. You can download the app by clicking on the links given in the show notes. So do download our app and get the best podcast experience. And also pay for news and support a new news media ecosystem that Newslaundry is trying to encourage, where we are accountable to you because we run on contributions that you make. We don't take government ads, we don't take corporations ads, so that news serves the public, because when the public pays, the public is served. Subscribe to Newslaundry, click on the link in the show notes below and proudly say, I pay to keep news free.